Teresa. Well, good evening once again. One more game left to be played in the preliminary round of the Women's World Championship. Spencer is now live at the Subaru World Championship Village to get us ready for Japan versus Denmark, a game that could decide the United States' quarterfinal opponent after a thrilling overtime win over Canada last night. Spencer, good evening.
Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it's day 7 of the IIHF Women's World Championship here in Utica and the final day of the preliminary round in the tournament. Now, we had a wild day here yesterday where we experienced a cosmic event years in the making. But what we witnessed here at the Adirondack Bank Center last night couldn't be eclipsed by anything. It was another chapter in the long and storied history between the United States and Canada in this rivalry for women's ice hockey. The United States overcoming their rivals to break through in overtime to win 1-0, sending the odd crowd into a frenzy and helping the defending gold medalist go through the preliminary round unbeaten to claim the top spot in Group A. It was about as good a 1-0 game as you'll ever see. One of the most exciting that you'll ever see. The score not indicative in the least of the action between the two teams, so evenly matched that each came in with 17 wins and 17 losses all time head-to-head in the 34-year history of the Women's World Championship to that point. Numerous chances from either side, many of which high-danger opportunities. And the two goalies were spectacular, with Anne-Renee Desbiens making 29 saves for Canada and Erin Frankel stopping 26 shots for the US of A before Kirsten Sims ended the stalemate with 1:22 left in overtime, scoring her first career goal in the Women's Worlds, a goal the magnitude of which she couldn't have ever imagined scoring growing up watching the United States and Canada rivalry.
Definitely not, but I mean, I'll take any goal, and this one's just a little bit extra special, but obviously super exciting at the end of the day. But yeah, no, definitely did not think that that was what was going to be the case. I was actually thinking pass because I like to, but I was like, you know what, the shot's there, so I just took it. Didn't really mean to put it on the ice, but I just saw the shot was open, so I knew there was a chance of it going in or coming out as a rebound at least. So kind of blacked out in the moment, didn't really know what was going on or if it actually happened, but obviously it was a super exciting moment, just super pumped that we pulled off the win too.
So with Sims' golden goal, one that she'll never forget, the U.S. takes the top seed in Group A heading into Thursday's quarterfinals. This is how the Group A standings stack up, with Team USA earning a perfect 12 of 12 points in the preliminary round, finishing 1 point ahead of Canada thanks to the overtime win. Now, why is that big? Well, the top seed in Group A plays the 3 seed in Group B in the quarterfinals, while each 2 seeds square off. So as of now, the United States would be taking on China in the quarterfinals Thursday, avoiding a potential matchup with a tough Sweden team. However, that could very well change here before the end of the night. A couple of games already going final today. Here in the final day of the preliminary round, Germany beat China 3-0 to clinch the top spot in Group B with 12 points themselves, so China finishing the group stage stuck at 3 points. Now, just a little while ago, the Group A prelims came to an end with Czechia beating Switzerland 6-1. They came into the third period leading 3-1 in that one and put in 3 more to win 6-1 to claim the 3 seed moving into the medal round. So here's where the change can happen. One more game remains tonight at the top of the hour in the preliminary round. At 7 o'clock, I should say. It's a Group B battle between Japan and Denmark. Each team is within 3 points of China. So a regulation win for either, or even an overtime win for Denmark at least, would thrust these teams into that 3rd spot and qualify them for a date with the U.S. in the quarterfinals. The loser, though, will be eliminated. So a lot riding on this game with major implications on the line. Now, it's been quite the preliminary round so far. It's been 7 days, lots of games, and one more to determine the matchups here in the quarterfinals. Team USA eagerly awaiting their opponent as Japan and Denmark square off to decide things here at 7 o'clock. We'll be watching, and I'll be back at 6 with more, including more of an update on what this situation will bring. Until then, I'll send it back up to Smith Hill. Jason, to you.
All right, Spencer, great stuff. We'll see you at 6. A new exhibition at Munson in Utica reminds us how...
Jason Palace.
Thanks for joining us. All that news coming up. But first, the IIHF Women's World Championship is past the halfway point, and Team USA is dazzling the crowds in Utica for sure. Case in point, last night's overtime win. A record crowd of over 4,000 fans with chance of USA helped push the team to victory in overtime. The game-winning goal on this 3-on-1 breakaway, Kirsten Sims with the tally, and the odd went berserk. Team USA gets a mini break now. Sports director Spencer Davidson will break it all down for us a little bit later on in sports. But today, the sun is shining and the Dusty Puppies are playing at the Subaru World Championship Village as part of the Women's World Championship. And that's where we find News Channel 2's Kristen Copeland joining us live.
Jason, thank you. The sky is the limit for the city of Utica during the Women's World Championship. It is an exciting time for the city and all of Oneida County. Michael Lear, the Director of Marketing for the Utica Comets, live atop the Ferris wheel here in Subaru Championship Village. You know, I gotta say, you put on a great show. We are all local ambassadors for this event. When I was here on Sunday, not working, but people were coming up to me saying, I didn't know the event was this big, and I'm sure you're getting that too. So I think my message to everyone out there watching us is you need to come check this out.
Yeah, you absolutely do. The Village is rocking. The U.S. is playing in a quarterfinal on Thursday night. Yesterday was amazing, and it really is. Every day is the best day ever, and it just keeps happening and happening. It's awesome.
The sunshine helps too. You said, you know, we're rocking, and we are literally rocking.
Yeah, it's great up here. This is, I mean, it's got to be the only live interview on a Ferris wheel in Utica ever, right?
I think it is. I think it is. We have a lot of fun here for hockey. You know, the eyes of the hockey world are on Utica right now, and in a little bit, we're going to hear from the local attractions like the Utica Zoo and the FX Matt Brewery, and all of the visitors that are coming into town for this event, but checking out other things as well. You could play the license plate game in your parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, the global stage is, I think, the minimum of this event, and it has been amazing to see the traction that the Comets, Adirondack Bank Center, IHF, USA Hockey, everyone's getting on social media and all across the world. It's super cool to turn on your TV and see Utica, New York.
Who can come to Championship Village?
Anybody right now. We want to make this a community event, and you're supposed to have a ticket to the game to get in here, to any game throughout the tournament. So anybody who has a ticket can be a part of this event for any game. If you came to an 11 a.m. game on Monday, you can be here.
All right, thank you so much, Michael. We're having a lot of fun down here in downtown Utica. You could have fun too. All you have to do is buy a ticket, see what's going on. Live from atop a Ferris wheel in downtown Utica, I'm Kristen Copeland. Jason, back to you.
All right, Kristen, thank you. I will do the live shots from the ground. Kudos to you for being up there. And what are all the hockey and Eclipse fans doing when there isn't a game now that the skies are back to normal? Well, as predicted, they're spending money in local businesses. As an added bonus, they're making memories too. Here's News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris.
When hockey fans took a break from the rink, many came here for a drink.
In fact, we had a few players from the German national team, which were here on Saturday night. It's great for us. We're a German-American brewery. In fact, just a matter of moments ago, we had some folks in from New Mexico who are trying our beer for the first time.
FX Matt Brewing Company has seen an increase in tours, gift shop traffic, and their full-service restaurant since the IIHF Women's World Championship came to town. And they're not intimidated by, but excited about serving customers from countries with great beer.
We absolutely measure up, and we're excited to showcase our beer.
It's nice.
It's cozy.
These Utica Zoo visitors from Denmark came to see her sister play hockey for Denmark's team. They have a larger zoo where they're from. They also have a positive report regarding our people here in Central New York.
People
Very
are
nice.
very nice and very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be some kind of American.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we try. We
Yeah, you are very kind.
Whether they were here for hockey or the Eclipse, the out-of-town guests who visited our Utica Zoo this week gave it high marks, especially those who don't have a zoo in their hometown.
And then off in the distance when you heard the lions roar, like it just makes you feel how majestic they really are. And to be able to get an up-close view of it, it's something that we wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to do in our own backyard.
For about a week now, the Utica Zoo's been enjoying a parking lot full of out-of-state plates.
We've had people from all over the country, as far west as California, as south as Florida, all throughout New England and the Mid-Atlantic, and certainly all around New York State as well. Well, just yesterday, school was in session. It's a Monday. It was lovely, and we did have an eclipse viewing opportunity, but we had over 300 people, which is not common for us.
The tournament runs through Sunday. Jolene Ferris, News Channel 2.
New at 6.
Good evening. Nothing is blocking the sun here today, so I need my shades. I didn't get the solar eclipse glasses yesterday, but it's a bright one out here, and it's also pretty hot compared to the last couple of weeks here. And it's day 7 here of the IIHF Women's World Championship here at the Adirondack Bank Center. And last night, though, was the hottest ticket in town. And the brightest stars in women's ice hockey took the ice for another storied chapter of this rivalry between the United States and Canada. And by the end of the night, Team USA added another bright spot to its part in this rivalry, coming away with an overtime win and sticking a feather in their cap. And it sure was a dandy. Now, for the United States, it was about as even a contest as you could have, the most exciting 1-0 game there could be. The Stars and Stripes broke through in overtime with Kirsten Sims scoring her first career goal at the Women's Worlds to lift the U.S. to a thrilling victory, capping off a perfect run through the preliminary round to begin their title defense. With the victory, the United States captured the top spot in Group A moving into Thursday's quarterfinals and await the result of tonight's preliminary round finale between Japan and Denmark to see who they'll face when the elimination round begins. Now, I'll get to that in just a minute, but first, it was perhaps the biggest game ever played at the Adirondack Bank Center, and yes, that includes the Comets' Calder Cup Finals run in 2015 because of the international stakes here at play. With that, it was a record-setting crowd of 4,017 here at the Adirondack Bank Center, with some fans purchasing standing room-only tickets to witness one of the biggest rivalries in hockey right here in our backyard. It's a testament to the growth of women's hockey over the past few years and to the players who have commanded the attention of hockey fans everywhere. So for the players on the ice last night was so much more than just a game to determine preliminary round seeding, and it made for a memorable night for all involved.
It's so fun. We've had our eye on this tournament, obviously, all season long since Brampton, and being in the state of New York is really special to me. I'm from Westchester County, and getting all my teammates to experience New York as well, and I think the fans have been really passionate and have showed out for us, and I think hopefully they're going to continue to do so, and I think maybe we gained a few more this evening, and hopefully they're sticking around because obviously we're not done yet.
Shows that there's more to New York than just New York City, right?
Yeah, totally.
It's amazing playing on home soil. I mean, when you get that chant, you get the crowds, and you get that energy, it obviously translates to our bench and just our team, and we bring it even more just because we know we have that support behind us from the crowd, and you can really hear it and feel it on the ice, so it's been super special. That's super amazing. I mean, it also just shows the growth in women's sports and how far it's come, especially in the last couple of years, but that just really puts the nail on the hammer, especially it being in our home crowd and stuff, so obviously it's amazing getting to play in front of a home crowd, and then the fact that it was that many people and it set a record is super special.
Group A takes on the 3 seed in Group B. Now, China sits in that spot right now, but this Japan-Denmark game tonight, the winner of that could overtake China and be the opponent for the United States. So we're going to head inside the Adirondack Bank Center and wrap up the preliminary round. Coming up tonight at 11, I will tell you where the situation stands and wrap up the final day of the preliminary round here at the Aud. Reporting from the Adirondack Bank Center, Spencer Davidson, News Channel 2 Sports. We'll be right back.
Economic hopes for the IIHF Women's World Championship and even the eclipse are becoming reality this week as unfamiliar faces and families go exploring to local attractions, spending money and making memories. Here's News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris.
These Utica Zoo visitors from Denmark have a big zoo where they live, but they're enjoying the smaller, more intimate Utica Zoo while they're here to watch her sister play hockey for Denmark's team in the IIHF Women's World Championship.
It's nice.
It's cozy. I think it's nice, and the weather is really good, so it's gonna get the experience even better.
And we're here for him.
Yeah.
Baby gibbon Dooku seems to have entered the very busy toddler years and delighted these Eclipse visitors from Connecticut, swinging all over the place and interacting with his parents.
I think it's a beautiful place. I love the fact that it's open year-round, so folks can come at any time. The walking in and seeing the gibbons howling and doing their little thing, and the baby getting some exercise, phenomenal. We just enjoyed it.
Whether they were here for hockey or the Eclipse, the out-of-town guests who visited our Utica Zoo this week gave it high marks, especially those who don't have a zoo in their hometown.
And then off in the distance, when you heard the lions roar, like it just makes you feel how majestic they really are. And to be able to get an up-close view of it, it's something that we wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to do in our own backyard.
The zoo parking lot has been filled with out-of-state plates for the past week since the championship started.
We've had people from all over the country, as far west as California, as south as Florida, all throughout New England and the Mid-Atlantic, and certainly all around New York State as well. We had at least 5 cars from Canada.
The out-of-town visitors are giving local people high marks, too.
People are very nice and very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be some kind of American.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we try. We try.
You're very kind.
It's not only our baby gibbons, but our beer drawing new crowds.
We've absolutely seen an increase of business, and we've seen folks from all around the country and the world. In fact, we had a few players from the German national team, which were here on Saturday night. It's great for us. We're a German-American brewery.
The tournament runs through Sunday. Jolene Ferris, News Channel 2.
And speaking of the Utica Zoo, the IIHF Women's World Championship, boy, it's really getting good. The United States will now know who they will face in the quarterfinals. Sports director Spencer Davidson is going to break all of that down for you a little bit later on in sports. But the economic hopes for the IIHF Women's World Championship and even the Eclipse are becoming reality this week as unfamiliar faces and families go exploring local attractions and spending money while making memories. News Channel 2's Jolene Ferris reports.
These Utica Zoo visitors from Denmark have a big zoo where they live, but they're enjoying the smaller, more intimate Utica Zoo while they're here to watch her sister play hockey for Denmark's team in the IIHF Women's World Championship.
It's nice.
It's cozy. I think it's nice. And the weather is really good, so it's gonna get the experience even better.
And we're here for him.
Yeah.
Baby gibbon Dooku seems to have entered the very busy toddler years and delighted these Eclipse visitors from Connecticut, swinging all over the place and interacting with his parents.
I think it's a beautiful place. I love the fact that it's open year-round, so folks can come at any time. The walking in and seeing the gibbons howling and doing their little thing, and the baby getting some exercise, phenomenal. We just enjoyed it.
Whether they were here for hockey or the Eclipse, the out-of-town guests who visited our Utica Zoo this week gave it high marks, especially those who don't have a zoo in their hometown.
And then off in the distance, when you heard the lions roar, like it just makes you feel how majestic they really are. And to be able to get an up-close view of it, it's something that we wouldn't be able to have the opportunity to do in our own backyard.
The zoo parking lot has been filled with out-of-state plates for the past week since the championship started.
We've had people from all over the country, as far west as California, as south as Florida, all throughout New England and the Mid-Atlantic, and certainly all around New York State as well. We had at least 5 cars from Canada.
The out-of-town visitors are giving local people high marks, too.
People are very nice and very friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be some kind of American.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we try. We try.
You're very kind.
It's not only our baby gibbons, but our beer drawing new crowds.
We've absolutely seen an increase of business, and we've seen folks from all around the country and the world. In fact, we had a few players from the German national team, which were here on Saturday night. It's great for us. We're a German-American brewery.
The tournament runs through Sunday. Jolene Ferris, News Channel 2.
And speaking of the Utica Zoo,
here's News Channel 2 Sports Director Spencer Davidson.
Good evening. It was the 7th and final day of the preliminary round for the IIHF Women's World Championship here in Utica. After 20 games, 8 of the 10 teams have solidified their spot into the medal round beginning on Thursday. Before we get to that, though, it was a special night at the Adirondack Bank Center last night. The final night for Team USA in the preliminary round. The defending gold medalists topping rival Canada in an overtime thriller in front of a record-setting crowd of 4,017 fans on hand to witness Kirsten Simms lift the United States to the top of Group A. It made for a night no one in attendance will ever forget. That includes the players on the ice and the coaches on the bench.
Our team works so hard. I really appreciate them and representing and helping them and giving them just a little bit of guidance so that they can even use that energy and those God-given gifts. It is fun to sit back. In those games, you try to sit back and just admire and watch and try to encourage. This is their game. They've been dreaming about this game for their entire lives, and this is why they play. And so I try to just give them some guidance and then try to let them, go out and enjoy that, and learn from it.
It's so fun. We've had our eye on this tournament, obviously, all season long since Brampton, and being in the state of New York is really special to me. I'm from Westchester County, and getting all my teammates to experience New York as well, and I think the fans have been really passionate and have showed out for us, and I think hopefully they're going to continue to do so, and I think maybe we gained a few more this evening, and hopefully they're sticking around because obviously we're not done yet.
It's amazing playing on home soil. I mean, when you get that chant, you get the crowds, and you get that energy, it obviously translates to our bench and just our team, and we bring it even more just because we know we have that support behind us from the crowd, and you can really hear it and feel it on the ice, so it's been super special.
So this is where things stood coming into the final day of preliminary round action with the results last night. The U.S. already locking up the top spot in Group A, Canada securing the 2 seed, followed by Czechia, Finland, and Switzerland. Then in Group B, Germany leading the way, tied with Switzerland with 9 points, but holding the tiebreaker due to a head-to-head win. China came into today in the 3rd spot due to face the United States in Thursday's quarterfinal. But with all but Sweden in action today, that could very easily change. And with that, we turn our attention to the final day of the preliminary round. Just 3 more games remaining before the medal round begins, and we'll start off with the final contest for Group A as Czechia took on Switzerland. Back to the Adirondack Bank Center, the Swiss still looking for their first win of the tournament, while Czechia can secure the 3 seed with a win. Now remember, both these teams are getting through to the medal round. First period, Czechia came to play. Just 37 seconds in, Teresa Vanasova dishes off to Aneta Tiralova, who puts the one-timer Fivola 1-0 Czechia right away. Later in the frame, Switzerland has a 5-on-3 advantage. Lara Stalder with the patience, waits and fires. That's a snipe, top corner from the slot. Switzerland is on the board, and we're back even at 1. To the second, 6 minutes left. Denisa Krezova wins the battle and takes it strong to the cage. She centers, it goes off the skate of Vanasova and into the back of the net. No kicking motion. That's a good goal, and Czechia is back on top 2-1. They'd get one more in the middle stanza, so 3-1 in the 3rd. Power play for the Czechs, and Daniela Pesova calls checkmate. A long-range laser from the point finds the back of the net. Czechia goes up 4-1. They'd go on to win 6-1. Now, Natalie Mlinikova with 3 goals in the game. Czechia takes the 3 seed in Group A, while the Swiss stay put in 5th and will face Finland in the quarterfinals. Now to Group B and the first game of the day. Germany looking to clinch the top spot in Group B as they took on China, who, again, is clinging on to that 3rd and final qualifying spot for the medal round heading into today. The Germans don't take long to get the scoring going either. Just 28 seconds in. On a power play, Daria Gleisner puts on goal. Laura Klug right there on the doorstep to jam the juicy bratwurst of a rebound home. Germany leads by 1. With just over 4 minutes to go in the opening frame, another player advantage for the Germans. Klug the shot. This time she was stopped, but Emily Nix following it up to bury the second chance opportunity. That extends Germany's lead to 2. In the second, they're looking for more. Nearly midway through, Svenja Voigt finds a seam and rips a shot, but Xiaohui Zhan flashes the leather and makes a beautiful glove save. One of 40 stops in the contest for the Chinese netminder. So it'd be 2-0 late in the 3rd. China has the net empty. Germany, though, with the takeaway, and Bernadette Karpf puts this one to bed. Slides it into the empty net to seal the deal. Germany wins 3-0 to secure the top seed in Group B with a perfect 12 points. Meanwhile, China stuck at 3. So now the Chinese await the results of the final game of the night to determine their fate. Denmark and Japan wrapping up the preliminary slate. A regulation win for either will lift them over China and into the quarterfinals. First period, Japan in control early and on a power play. Haruka Toko with the shot that's turned aside, but the rebound from Remi Koyama is not. She's listed at 4'11", but a giant goal from the Saibu Princess Rabbits forward as Japan grabs a 1-0 lead. In the second, less than a minute in, Japan's shot from the point is stopped. Akane Shiga on the doorstep, robbed by Emma Sophie Nordstrom to keep it a 1-goal game. Whew. Just past the midway point, another rush up ice for Japan. It's Shiga feeding Suzuka Taka right at the top of the crease for the tap-in. Can't put it on the tape any better than that. The Japanese lead by 2. And in the third, Rui Ukita would ice it with an empty netter. From the basement to the medal round, Japan wins it 3-0 to keep their run in the Women's Worlds alive and extend their stay here in Utica. So now the preliminary round is complete. Here's what the final Group B standings look like. Japan overtaking China, eliminating both the Chinese and Denmark as the top 3 in Group B advance to the medal round. Germany and Sweden, the other 2 moving on. In Group A, as you saw earlier, the U.S. atop the standings with 11 points, Canada behind them in second, then it's Czechia in third with 6 points, Finland in fourth with 3 points, and Switzerland in the cellar. But all 5 teams in Group A advance to the medal round, so everybody is safe and heading to Thursday's quarterfinals. As for the defending champs, Japan it is. The Team USA continues its gold medal defense as the United States face the Japanese in the quarterfinals on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. And taking a look at the full slate of quarterfinals matchups, busy day. 4 games at the odd starting at 10 a.m. with Finland versus Switzerland. Then at 1:30, it's Czechia against Germany. At 5, Canada takes on Sweden. And then, of course, at 8:30, the United States and Japan. Winners advance to the semifinals on Saturday.
Get your popcorn. Gonna be fun.
Oh, man, I'm going to get a big tub of popcorn. I can't wait. Just an unbelievable tournament so far, and it's only going to get better from here.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, Spence. Final look at the forecast, Bill.